So the reason why I say if you're autistic, then you will 100% do this is because there are certain things that our body responds to that are almost universal in autism, and we're getting into that right now. Autistic brains kind of process sensory input a lot differently, and that means we often notice certain things that other people don't notice, or the typical people don't notice, which is really interesting. So in this video, I'm going to show you 2 things that pretty much every autistic person experiences, and I'm going to do that right now. So if we back up a little bit here, autism changes how we experience certain things, or how we experience senses or sensory input from light, touch, sound, smell, movement, all that kind of stuff. Now, I'm autistic. I've diagnosed autism and ADHD, and my name is Dan, by the way. If you're new around here and you want to learn more, then remember to hit the subscribe button by clicking the notification bell down below so you don't miss a video that we're publishing here on this channel. And this can cause unique reactions to neurotypical people. They may never notice certain things. Like neurotypical people or not autistic people will walk around and they'll do their daily life, and then all of a sudden they don't notice something. Autistic individuals will walk around and will see something and we'll be like, oh, and we can identify it. But what are those things? This is so interesting. And some traits are really common in autistic people, and they also feel like it's a shared language that only we can see it. And I did a viral TikTok video on this, one of these things, and it was so interesting because it took off like wildfire, and people were like, whoa, this is true. And I kind of jokingly was like, this is the test if you're autistic or not. If you can see this, then you're autistic. If you can't see it, then... So, the first one was light flickering. All lights flicker. There's a vibration of lights flickering. And cathode tube lighting or strip lighting, you know, this kind of stuff you have in like offices and like malls and things like that. Those strips have a flicker, which is a frame rate, which means that it vibrates, the light vibrates in intervals. And typically, the light vibrates so fast that we can't see the speed in which it flickers. So it just looks like a constant light. If you put your phone over the old TVs, you can see like those lines in the middle. Have you ever done that? Or if you've taken a video on your phone and there's like strobe lights in it, you're like, how is this strobe lighting coming? So autistic individuals actually can see that flicker of the light, right? And this is fascinating because I could be somewhere and I'm like, oh my goodness, can you see this light flickering? And people are like, oh, what light flickering? I'm like, dude, it's like a disco. Like, and they're like, no, I can't see it. Like, oh my goodness. And then I found out, the more I spoke about this and the more I spoke to other people about it, I found out that the autistic friends I had were like, I can see the light. I'm like, yeah, it's flickering. And then the non-autistic people were like, there's no flicker here. What's going on? I'm like, what the heck is going on? So that being said, I put a video out saying, hey, if you're autistic, you relate to this. And they were like, almost, I'd say a good 99% of my audience, I see the light. And the people who didn't see it were like, I'm not autistic and I can't see the light. And a lot of people were like, hey, I'm a mum of a kid on the spectrum and he always does this in front of lights. And I'll explain why they do that in a minute. And I have never seen the light. I can't see a flicker. I just see it's just a constant light. Now, autistic individuals, you'll see them do this a lot when they're faced with light. And the reason they do this, or they even take a pen and do this, right, is because the phase of the light flickering has intervals. If you think about the light as a wave like this, you've got peaks and troughs, right? So peaks and troughs. And so the peaks and troughs, you're like, it's hitting you and there's intervals, and it's really annoying because you're like, oh man, it's not consistent. A solid beam of light would be like this, but the peaks and troughs is like this. And so when you flicker your hands like this, what you're doing is you're covering up the peaks and the troughs, making a solid line, so that when you're doing this, what you're actually doing is just blocking the light to make it solid, right? And so you're outer phasing or counter phasing that flicker so that it's just a solid beam of light. And that is so interesting. It's fascinating. And so people say it's the stimming. And so we get used to this and it becomes like something that's common and repetitive. We'll just do it every now and then. But that's what it's for. We're trying to normalize the light so it's a solid beam of light.
Guys, if you are interested in knowing how I became confident and got that BDE energy, then make sure you download my free Autism Building a Bulletproof Brain starter kit. You can go to bulletproofbrain.org right now, click the card here, link in the description or in the bio, or you can just go to bulletproofbrain.org, make sure you put www before it and download the free checklist starter kit right now. I promise you're going to be amazed.
Now, the other thing, I said there was 2 things that autistic people do. Now, number one, light flickering, 100%. Almost all of us can see it. If you don't see the light flickering, you have to drop me a comment down below. The second thing that autistic individuals do is restless leg syndrome. So people who like just have their leg and they're like constantly just shaking their leg. And you see this all the time, people just shaking their leg. And like, you can sit on a bench and the whole bench is shaking because the person's shaking their leg, right? And this is called restless leg syndrome. Now, it's a form of stimming or self-stimulatory behavior. That's what stimming stands for. And self-stimulatory behavior is basically a way of you to self-regulate, which means a way for you to do something that you can feel calm by doing something repetitive. Some people like rock to sleep or rub your toes together or whatever, because those things, it's like a repetitive movement. Like rock a baby to sleep, it's like repetitive and the baby feels comfortable. So it's the same type of thing. We are feeling overwhelmed or distant in reality, so we do that thing to make us feel comfortable, and the repetitiveness of it makes us feel comfortable. Now this restless leg syndrome and the light flicker, it's either one or the other. Now you have to drop me a comment. Is it light flicker or is it restless leg syndrome, or do you have both? Because you can have both. I'm not saying that you don't have one or the other. I'm saying that you can have both, but I'm pretty sure you will have either one or both of these. Now drop it in a comment down below. I read every single one.
Guys, I wasn't always this confident, and I definitely wasn't always this able. I'm able to hold down having a full-time self-employed job. I have children and a relationship across the Atlantic. How did I do this? I teach all of this in Coping Secrets, which is my entry-level program that everyone can get. You can get it right now for $27. Link is in the description, or you can just go to learnautism.net/coping secrets. I'll make sure that it's linked everywhere in this video and the link in my bio so you can get your hands on it. But honestly, the feedback I got, people love it.